Hi there everybody, this is Natasha Wilkinson, your independent Scentsy consultant from Mount Isa, Australia. If you are new, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I just finished watching an amazing video that Melissa Johnson-Haight put up, that she started a tag after another amazing consultant put a video up, Elizabeth Sings and Scents, about their favourite scents or their scents that got away from them. You could literally say scents that may have been in their club that are no longer in their club, that they regret not having, scents that they've never clubbed, scents that basically they wish they had more of that they don't have access to more. So I thought I would jump on board and share my scents that got away from me. I do have a big pile here to go through, and I will share various reasons why they may not be in my club, if they've ever been in my club, what my thought process were on these scents, that type of thing. So some of these, even though I call them scents that may have got away that I really enjoy, I don't know if I would necessarily put them back in my club, but if they came back, I would definitely purchase more of. So we'll talk more about that as we go through this process on the scents that got away with me. So I'm going to start off with a category which is probably going to be a little bit surprising to you all. I'm going to start off with my citrus category. I have 5 citrus scents that I want to talk about. If you have been following along with me any amount of time, you know citrus scents aren't necessarily my favourite scent. In fact, when I first started my Scentsy journey, I would have told you I wouldn't buy from the citrus category. I was very simple in my scent preference. In summer, it had to be either a floral scent like a rose scent or a gardenia scent, something that was straight out floral. In winter, it would have been a straight out vanilla scent, and in Christmas, something with a little bit of cinnamon. So I was very, very simple, and it wasn't until I joined Scentsy that I started to enjoy a lot more, I guess, fragrances, and step out of the box and find a lot of fragrances that I really do enjoy, which could account for the fact that I have 5 citrus scents, whereas before, if you spoke to me 3 years ago, before I started my Scentsy journey, I would have said, keep those citrus scents away from me. So for someone that doesn't like citrus scents to have 5 citrus scents that got away from her, that is quite surprising. So some of these, there are actually 2 of them that left us in the Autumn-Winter 2021 catalogue. So 2 of these should hopefully be eligible for Bring Back My Bar voting with this next round of Bring Back My Bar votes that we're allowed to do, which is usually a month after our Bring Back My Bar promotion. So I'm expecting we will be able to vote for new Bring Back My Bars next month. Scentsy haven't announced any official dates yet, but usually the new Bring Back My Bar voting becomes available after we finish our round of Bring Back My Bars, which are currently going. So next month I'm expecting we will be able to revote again, and I'm expecting that 2 of these 5 scents will be eligible for revoting. And if they are, and if they do come back, those 2 scents will definitely be going back into my club. So let's delve into it and talk about them first, because as I said, I've got a big range of scents here, and I've got to get this done before the taxi comes to take me and my son to his school appointment. So squeeze the day. So as I said, this left our catalogue in our Autumn-Winter catalogue in 2021, and when it was around, I originally used to use this as my cleaning scent when I wanted to do a deep clean of the house and wanted to reset the house, make it smell nice, fresh and clean, because it is a very bright lemon scent. with a little bit of that sweetness from the creamy vanilla. And I think that's why I chose not to put it in my club, because at that stage, how I was reaching for it, I wasn't reaching for enough to have it as a club scent for me. So I chose just to buy a, I think, 6-pack before it discontinued, rather than club it. I think I've got 2 or 3 left, maybe even 1 left. I think this, I don't know if I've got 2 or 1 or 3 left, but I'm getting down there. And then I started to experiment with Squeeze the Day and started to mix this with cake scents, with cookie scents, and create like a lemon cake scent, and fell in love with this. So I started to use this more than I thought I would use it more. So this is definitely one that if it did come back, as I said, I'm hoping it would be eligible, because this is kind of marking the 2-year mark where scents become re-eligible, and that it was popular enough that it will be available for re-voting with the next Bring Back My Bar. So next one, Lemon Sorbet. This also retired in our Autumn Winter 2021 catalogue. So this is marking almost 2 years. So this should hopefully be back and available for re-voting this one. If I had to choose between Squeeze the Day and Lemon Sorbet, I think I like Lemon Sorbet just a little bit more. Again, I use this as a mix in some of a couple of other scents that I absolutely love. This smells to me like those white frozen ice blocks. It's got a frostiness about it. An absolute fabulous sugary lemon scent. And then the next one. So this one won't be available for re-voting anytime soon, unfortunately. It is only just literally retired last autumn winter catalogue and did not come back this autumn winter catalogue. But for me, I feel like they had this for the last 2 seasons in the wrong catalogue here in Australia. I feel like this should have been in our spring summer catalogue, because while I typically don't warm this in autumn winter, when it was available in our catalogue, I would buy a few and then warm them in the spring summer. And I ummed and ahed about whether I would put this in my club, took it in, took it out, took it in, took it out. Decided I'd risk it, thought it would be popular enough to come back. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And that was kind of the same with Lemon Sorbet. I took it in, took it out, took it in, took it out. These were kind of the ones that I kind of risked coming back when they didn't. And this one is Tangerine Creamsicle. So this I mix with Lemon Sorbet and Vanilla Waves in summer. It's one of my go-to summery mixes that I really, really love. I still have a few left, so I have enough probably for this summer, next summer, and hopefully by the time I'm finished my Tangerine Creamsicle, this will be re-eligible for voting. I still have to wait a little while before this one is re-eligible for voting, but I may be able to get one of these 2 back. So the next one, again a recent one that is discontinued, and again one that I kind of risked whether I would put it in, because I felt like I didn't reach for it enough to warrant it being in my club, even though I do enjoy it in summer, and that is Be Fabulous. So this has got that tangerine, it's got a very I'm not going to call it effervescent because it's not effervescent, but it's very bright. It's a very bright, fun citrus that I absolutely love in summer. And then the last one, this was in our recent Bring Back My Bar, and I decided that I just didn't have room to club it, even though I really enjoyed it, and there were other scents in that Bring Back My Bar that I preferred more. And this was another one I brought a bunch of, but now I kind of wish I'd clubbed because I'm down to my last bar. This is my last bar. lemon drop it low. So I don't know how long it will take for this to come back around into another round of Bring Back My Bar voting. But to me, this smells like the lemon curd from a lemon meringue pie. So out of my 5 citrus scents, tangerine creamsicle, squeeze the day, lemon sorbet, and lemon drop it low are probably ones that I would say were the ones that out of the 5 citrus scents, out of them all, got away the most from me, and that I would potentially club again if they came back around. Be Fabulous, I would probably buy a bunch more of. I still do have a few more of them. For this one, as much as I like it, for me it's one of those fast-lived scents. It comes crashing out of the gate like a racehorse. You get a good few hours and then it just dies off. So I think for that reason, I would probably just buy a few more and probably not reclub it. So let's move on to the next category of scents, shall we? So moving on to our, I guess, fresher scents. I have 3 fresh scents, and you're going to find as I talk about a lot of these scents, most of these are probably more summery as opposed to autumn winter scents, because for me I tend to not keep as much summer scents in my club because I have so many summer scents I have to work my way through that I just can't keep up with my summer scents, whereas my winter scents I warm more frequently, I can keep up with them, and I use on a more frequent basis. So they tend to be ones that I don't regret putting in my club because they are also harder to come by in our region here in Australia. And knowing that they're harder to come by, I tend to keep them in my club, if that makes sense. So, fresh scents. I have 3 here. The first one, I picked this up in a flash sale. So I've never had this in my club, and I never experienced it until I picked 3 up in a flash sale. I'm down to my last bar. Atlantic Air. This is beautiful. It is fresh and sweet. You can almost smell that fresh air quality, but there's a sweetness with that floral in it. A slightly aquatic note. I absolutely love this. As I said, I've only ever experienced this by picking it up through a flash sale. So it's never been available for me personally to add to clubs. So I don't know when this actually discontinued out of our Australian catalogue here. But if it ever makes its way to a Bring Back My Bar vote, if it ever comes up and becomes available in any way or form, this will definitely be going into my club. So, the next one. This was in my club for the longest time. I ended up taking it out because I just stopped reaching for it. It's not that I didn't enjoy this scent or that I don't enjoy this scent. I just wasn't reaching for it. I've still got 4 or 5 of them, and that is Hibiscus Water. In fact, I only reached for one last summer as well. So this is a beautiful, it was from one of our summer collections, I believe in 2020. It is a beautiful tropical aquatic scent, slightly fruity, slightly floral. If it came back, I would definitely purchase more. I still think I'm at the stage where I'm not reaching for it enough to warrant reclubbing it, but I do really enjoy it. And because I did take it out of my club, I am classifying it as one of the ones that got away, and it's just because I'm not reaching for it that I would be indecisive about whether I would reclub that one or not. One that I would probably club if it came back, and this was in a recent Bring Back My Bar vote too, is Coconut Cotton. So this is just a beautiful combination of laundry and coconut. It is fresh, it is bright, it is clean, it is very, very summery. I kind of regret not clubbing it the first time around when it was in the Bring Back My Bar. Again, this was another one I'm like, I enjoy it, but did I enjoy it enough to want to club? I will just purchase a bunch of them. If it came back, I feel like I would club it, because I feel like pink cotton for me would be my laundry scent I would warm in winter, and this would be my laundry scent I would warm in summer. So they're kind of the fresh scents on my list. So I do have a list here also, after we've gone through this, of scents that I don't have bars of that are also kind of ones that got away from me as well. So the next one, let's talk about, since we're going through the fresh journey, let's keep on track with our summery scents. So these are more the berry type scents or berry mixed aquatic scents. So the first one, as you can see, there's 2 cubes missing. My daughter has been warming this particular bar in her room, and that is Aladdin Free Wishes. This is a blueberry cotton candy, and then I have Blueberry Rush, which is another blueberry, bright blueberry scent. So I decided not to club these 2 when they were available. I picked up a few. This was a Bring Back My Bar. This was obviously a collection. The reason I decided not to club these is that we have Berry Bright in our catalogue year round, autumn, winter, spring, summer. It tends to be a bestseller here in Australia in our catalogue and is available year round. And I thought both of these were similar enough that I didn't need all the blueberry scents. And I do kind of regret that, because I do reach for these 2 more than I do Berry Bright. And even though they are very similar, there are some slight differences about them as well. And then I have what I call my aquatic blueberry scents. So I have Ursula Poor Unfortunate Souls from the Disney Villains collection, and The Little Mermaid Kiss the Girl, which when I'm looking for something bright but fresh and fruity in my daughter's room, I absolutely love to warm. Again, I picked up a bunch of these rather than clubbing them. Ursula was in my club for the longest time, but again, I chose to take these 2 out of my club rather than keep them in my club, due to needing to make room and to not reaching for them as regularly as I would other scents. So if either of these 4 scents were to come back, I would probably definitely re-club Blueberry Brush, Aladdin's Free Wishes. I would probably start off with clubbing these, but if I had to make room for other scents, depending on how regularly again I was reaching for these, would they stay in my club? So moving on, so let's talk about some collections here, shall we? So I have Mythic Journey, Dance of Autumn, and Born to Lead, all from the Frozen 2 collection. I first experienced the Frozen 2 collection in the clearance section and fell in love with that. I do have North Cause, the Olaf Warm Hugs, which isn't from that collection but still part of Frozen 2 franchise, and the Fearless by Nature, currently in my club. I loved all of these scents. Mythic Journey would be the one out of them that I would probably club the most out of 3 of these, followed by Dance of Autumn. This is a beautiful autumn scent. It's slightly fresh as well and slightly sweet. Born to Lead's probably the least. Actually, Fearless by Nature is my least favourite. But out of the ones, even though I really love this, I would probably stock more up on this, but I can't even stock more up on this because they're not available. Would this go into my club for a short period of time? Possibly. But I could definitely see myself clubbing Mythic Journey and Dance of Autumn. So, lavender scents. Let's talk some lavender, shall we? So here's where I'm starting to talk a bit from this list as well. So I have Wit Vanilla Lavender from the Mother's Day collection and Lavender Violet from our Life's a Garden collection. So the reason I took, and I did have Snuggle Up too in my club at one stage, but the reason I took all the lavender scents out of my club is because we do have Jammy Time again, kind of like the Berry Bright situation. I felt we had Jammy Time in the catalogue. We have French lavender in our catalogue. Do I need all the lavender scents when there are lavender scents available in our catalogue? This is my last Lavender Violet, and I'm really missing not having this in my club. I think out of all of them, I'd put Lavender Violet over Whipped Vanilla Lavender in my club again, because the Lavender Violet has a soft marshmallow scent in it that is really, really beautiful. I did enjoy Whipped Vanilla Lavender, but I did find it on the soft side. If it come back, this would probably be more one that I would stock more up on rather than copy my club. But Lavender Violet, if it ever came back, would probably make its way back into my club. And the next one I want to talk about is Fuzzy Blanket. I did pick up a few of them when they were available in the clearance section. If that becomes available and I bring back my bar vote and becomes available to purchase, Fuzzy Blanket would have to be probably my favourite lavender scent out of all of Scentsy's lavender scents I have tried, and that would definitely go into my club. So let's talk about Christmas scents, shall we? So I have 3 Christmas scents. Again, for me, Christmas scents I'm pretty good at now clubbing. I'm realising if I pop them into my quarterly club, I get 3 a year. Perfect amount of time to warm in Christmas, whereas before I would just stock up like mad and it would take me forever to go all the way through. So I have Dazzling Pomegranate. So this is probably what I probably wouldn't reclub. It came back in the last flash sale, I picked up one. If it came back again, I'd probably pick up another one. Because I only probably reach for Dazzling Pomegranate once a year. And I think that's what made me decide not to club it. For me, this is a really bright, bubbly, effervescent free pomegranate, which I warm in November when I'm ready to start warming my Christmas scents, because it's got no spice, but it's fruity enough and it's bright enough and it's effervescent enough that it's perfect in November, which is our which is our hot summer here in Australia. November, December, January is our summer. So it's perfect to take me into my summer scents where I'm not quite ready for the heavy spice, but I want it to feel Christmassy. So, and because I only probably warm one a year, I decided not to club it. So that's kind of become my tradition, warm one of these a year. So if they come back in flash sales, pick up one to carry on that tradition. So while I miss that it's not in our catalogue, I just don't feel like I reached for that one enough to even warrant having it in a quarterly club. The ones that I would probably reclub if they came back were Blue Christmas. This just smells like Christmas to me, with that mix of spice and pine and orange, and Wassail Wonderland. Just a beautiful spiced orange. These are very similar, but Wassail Wonderland I feel like is more heavier in the orange and not as heavy in the pine tree, whereas this just has a little bit of the orange in the background and is more heavy in the spice and the pine tree. But I absolutely love both of these at Christmas time. I also love Wassail Wonderland during winter when I'm looking for a fruity winter scent and I'm over apples and spice, but I want something can spice that's not apples and spice. I will typically reach for Wassail Wonderland. So, moving on. I do have, I guess you could say, 2 autumn... Hang on just a moment. Okay, so that was the delivery truck with my scent of the month and warmer of the quarter kit just arriving. So let's continue on, shall we? So the next lot, as I said, I'm going to say these are probably the 2 Harvest Collection scents I kind of wish I kept in my club. These scents were originally in my club and I took them out, tried to make room for other scents, and regret doing that. Sorry, the child down there is pouring himself some milk. I thought I'd grab the milk before he spills it everywhere. So these 2 scents I don't think will ever be voted back. I don't think they would have been popular enough because they kind of fall in our woods category, which is one of our least, I guess, favourite categories here in Australia of rankings. When Dan did the rankings of what was people's favourite fragrance family to the least favourite, this was kind of getting down in the lower ones. So I don't think these would ever get voted back. I absolutely love these fragrances and I'm kicking myself I took them out of my club, and that is cranberry, pumpkin and spice. Absolutely love this one, but as I said, I don't think it's ever going to be popular enough that it would get voted back. Toasted acorn and oak. I get almost a mapley note when I'm warming toasted acorn and oak with that rich woodsy oak. It is absolutely fantastic. So, moving on, shall we? Let's talk about some bakeries, shall we? Again, bakery is something I'm pretty good at securing in my club because of how little our bakery catalogue is. Here in Australia, in spring, summer, we tend to get 3 bakery scents in our catalogue. In autumn, winter, we tend to get 4 bakery scents. This year, they tried to make it look a little bit bulked up, but I wouldn't necessarily say some of the scents they chose for me or would be bakery scents. I would beg to differ with some of the scents they chose in our catalogue, saying they're bakery scents when they're typically not. And I kind of feel they need to give more attention to our bakery section in our catalogue, because during that, again, questionnaire of what was the most favoured fragrance family as opposed to the least fragrance family in categories, bakery came in as the 3rd highest fragrance family in Australia. So I think it was fruity, then fresh, and then bakery. So bakery ranked quite high up in its category liking, but is one of our least looked at fragrances in our catalogue. So to me, that really doesn't make sense. But let's move on anyway, shall we? So the bakery scents that I kind of wished that I had got away from me. Pretty and Plum. So this was a bring back my bar, and I took it out thinking I had sweet plum pastry. But I absolutely love mixing with this with sweet plum pastry. When I warmed this the first time, I got a lot of the black coconut note in it, and I didn't think I was a fan of the black coconut. Okay, I'm back again. Now that the phone has finished ringing, I was talking about Pretty and Plum. So, as I said, the first time I warmed this, I wasn't really a fan of that black coconut note. The more I warmed this, I fell in love with it. But by the time I had fallen in love with Pretty and Plum, I had taken it out of my club and wished it back in. Now my favourite mix to do is with this Maleficent Mistress of Evil and Sweet Plum Pastry. I get so many comments when people walk from my door if I'm warming that mix of how amazing my house smells. So if this ever comes back, I will not make the mistake of taking Pretty and Plum out of my club again. So the next two I kind of call my toffee scents. And the reason I took these out or didn't put them in my club was because I felt I had other toffee scents that would suffice. So the first one, it was a Bring Back My Bar at some stage, Toffee Butter Crunch. Absolutely beautiful. The next one was Central Park Pralines. These have got a more nuttiness about these ones that I absolutely love. But again, I think I chose Salted Caramel Toffee over these two in my club at the time. But now I'm at a stage where I'm wanting all of the toffee scents and kind of wish I had all the toffee scents. And I'm finding too that with certain scents, like Central Park Pralines, like Toffee Butter Crunch, and as you can see, look how juicy Pretty and Plum is. When they're not in my club, I tend to hoard them, thinking once they're gone, I can never get them again. Whereas when a scent is in my club, I'm more likely to use them. So, moving on, and that's my son in the background. The one, I guess, on this list I have a Christmas scent that I didn't speak about, and I have a bakery scent that I didn't speak about that I don't have bars of. So I took Perk Me Up out of my club not long after it was in my club, when it was a Bring Back My Bar. I love warming coffee scents with my bakery scents, and that was the only coffee scent that was available. So if that came back, that would definitely go in my club again, because I am really missing Perk Me Up. I am finding I do buy vendor wax for a coffee scent, just for a coffee scent, because we don't have any coffee scents. And I'm using a lot of Mochadoodle now because that's the closest to a coffee scent I have with Scentsy. But if Perk Me Up did come back, that would go in my club. And the Christmas scent I had listed here was Snow Kissed Cranberry. I'm missing that one. So that came in a Scent of the Month collection, and I decided not to club that at the time because of how light it was. I found it light, but it's a really beautiful bedroom Christmas scent for me. And then I have Marshmallow Mint Cocoa. So I took that out of my club because I had a good stash of it, but now I've used up all my Marshmallow Mint Cocoa. I am missing that again. And the other, I guess, bakery scent in here is Vanilla Cinnamon Maple. Again, I decided to take that out of my club before really appreciating it, because it was a scent of the season or a Christmas collection for us here in Australia, and I found it quite heavy when I was warming it and didn't enjoy it, but then warmed a bar in winter when it was more season appropriate and fell in love with it. So I do have to remember when a lot of our bakery scents come out and a lot of our heavier scents come out, they usually come out during our Christmas collection, which is usually the wrong time of year for me to really enjoy them. And I do have to remember, before making decisions about what I want to club and what I want to come out of my club, I do have to try and remember to take into account the time of season where I'm warming those scents. So let's move on, shall we? My son here is mixing up all my talkabouts. So we were talking about, since we're talking about plum, let's continue on that plum track. Boho was a Bring Back My Bar here. This is a perfumey spice plum that I really enjoy. Again, didn't make it to my club because There were other scents during that Bring Back My Bar round that I liked more. But now I'm hoarding my last 2 bars of this. I've got to stop doing that. I'm going to make an effort to enjoy these 2 bars of Boho this winter. If that came back, I really love plum scents. That would probably go back into my club. So, let's talk about some collections, shall we? So, let's talk about the Island Stay collection. There were 2 that were in my club for a short period of time. Driftwood and Jasmine, and Tiari and Coconut. As you can see, I really do enjoy my florals, and a lot of what we're about to talk about now are all about the florals. But again, because of how big my summer collection is, I took a lot of the florals out of my club. I chose not to keep Tiari and Coconut in my club because I felt it had very similar notes to Coconut for Coconuts. Tiari and Flower to me is a, I guess, younger, lighter version of Lush Gardenia as well. But again, I couldn't have all the scents in my club. I think I preferred Coconuts for Coconuts a little bit more. I preferred Lush Gardenia a little bit more. So I don't know that that would go back into my club. But once it's done, I will kind of regret not having any more. And my son is taking off with the bananas that we want to talk about. Let's give him some bars that we've already talked about, shall we, that you can play with. So, Driftwood and Jasmine. This is just a beautiful jasmine bedroom scent, slightly perfumey. Again, I have a few bars to enjoy. I will miss it when it's gone, but I don't feel that I would re-club it. So, let's talk about, while we're on the track of bedroom summer scents, I have a bunch of bedroom floral scents that I really do enjoy that were in my club at some stage, have taken out. I'm probably going to miss, but again, because I have so many bedroom summer floral scents, I can't really re-club again. Or I would have to get through my current stash to warrant re-clubbing them, even though I probably will miss them once they're gone. From the Find Your Happy Wax collection, I have Showered in Flowers. This is a beautiful sweet floral. Peony Petals, another sweet floral. As you can see, I really love those sweet florals. Willow Flower and Vanilla. So this was a scent of the month. And from the Glamorous collection with Grace. All of these are either a sweet floral or they've got some type of a body perfumey note about it. And I feel like Scentsy keep coming out with similar scents that have a perfumey body floral note. And I had so many florals, which is why I ended up taking them out. The same with Petal Pals, but this had more of a marshmallowy base about it. So, out of all these bunches, what ones would I be likely to re-club again if I were missing them? I think out of them all, I would probably go for the Showered in Flowers, because that's just such a pretty sweet floral, and Peony Petals. So these would be the 2 I would probably re-club out of all the other floral scents, and possibly Petal Pals, because I do enjoy that marshmallowy background note. Ones that I would definitely reclub again, that I kind of am really regretting not clubbing, or that I took out of my club. Lush Gardenia. So this discontinued in 2020 in our catalogue here just after I joined, and it reminds me of my grandmother's double gardenia tree. Creamy, exotic, floral, absolutely fantastic. What I do now, because I am starting to run quite low, is I will, first day of spring, warm a bar of Lush Gardenia as my way of welcoming in my spring, summer scents. And then I will not touch this again till next spring. So I'm finding that way I'm kind of extending the life of what I have left of my Lush Gardenia. I took it out of my club thinking I'd get a big stash up and wasn't reaching for it one winter. Of course I wasn't reaching for it in winter. It's a spring summer scent. Honeysuckle pear, I did the same. Took it out of my club one winter, forgetting I enjoy it in spring and summer. So this was the March scent of the month in 2020, and so it was the month after I joined. And at that stage here in Australia, our scent of the months were available to club for 6 months before they were not available. Now they have changed it and it's 3 months where you have to club a scent of the month if you want to club it. So for that 6 months, I would just buy it from the catalogue. And then when the catalogue was about to change over and they were retiring Lush Gardenia, I put both Lush Gardenia and Honeysuckle Pear into my club at that stage. And again, built up a bit of a stash, took it out, but kind of wish I kept it in, because Honeysuckle Pear is one of those scents that I don't think will make its way back to a Bring Back My Varvo. It's a very saturated, sweet, overpowering floral scent, and you really have to like floral scents to like Honeysuckle Pear. So we're getting towards the end. I've got a small pile left. So we have, let's continue on with the floral since we're going about that. Here comes the sunflowers. This is another one I would probably consider reclubbing, because this is more of a bright fruity floral to me as opposed to the sweet or the powdery florals. So if you're looking for something bright, sunny and cheerful, here comes the sunflowers. I kind of regret taking that out of my club. And then we have this child of mine. This is what life with me is like, constant interruptions. So then we have a couple of florals that I call the ones that really got away from me. I didn't club because I kind of expected them to be popular enough that they would come back in a future catalogue. Summer Moonlight. For us, it was only ever a scent of the month here in Australia. I still do have a few. It's a combination of sandalwood and a sweet floral. It's a really beautiful bedroom scent. I actually prefer this more than I do Driftwood and Jasmine. I kind of hedged bets thinking this might come back in a future catalogue. In Australia, it didn't. As I said, it was originally a scent of the month here. And another one that didn't make its way to a future catalogue here in Australia yet. It has in Region 1. So I'm hoping maybe the Spring Summer catalogue we might see Kukui and Coconut. I really enjoy this one. Again, didn't club it because I thought maybe this might be popular enough to make its way to a future catalogue. Again, I still have a few, and again, the other reason, as I said, my summer scents are kind of out of control, so it's kind of my way of not accumulating more summer scents. But this one I probably would club if it came back, because this one, Lush Gardenia, Honeysuckle Pear, are on my top list for floral scents. Excuse me for just one moment. The child has his sandwich, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 more scents to talk about. I do apologise for the constant interruptions this morning. I am trying to get through this in a fashionable time without going for too long, because as I said, I did pull quite a few scents, and as I said, as you can see, there were a lot of summer scents as opposed to winter scents, because I'm pretty good at keeping now that I realise how scentsy work here in our region, that Winter Bakery says if you want them, you got to club them. So let's talk about some fruity scents, shall we? So these ones I had full intention of clubbing, just missed the boat. I waited too long and they were discontinued before I could club them. One was a scent of the month, Ruby Nectarine, and the other was Peachy and Palm Trees. And what I actually did was I did club it, but my Scentsy Club was due to process and I took it out because they were still available and forgot to put them back in. So Ruby Nectarine and Peachy and Palm Trees, to me, smell like the authentic nectarine or an authentic peach. You can smell that fur skin. You can smell the flesh and the juice dribbling as you bite into one of these fruits. I absolutely love these scents in summer. If either of these were to come back, they would definitely be clubbed. I feel like I prefer Peachy and Palm Trees just a little bit more than I do Ruby Nectarine. So if I had to choose between one or the other, it would definitely be Peachy and Palm Trees for me. But this just definitely hits my summer fruity vibe that I really, really love to warm in summer. And I still have a big bunch of Ruby and Nectarine from when it was a scent of the month. I've got 2 Peachy and Palm Trees left. So this summer, I've got enough to get me through when I'm going through that week where I just want juicy fruit. Absolutely fantastic. So again, this is another one that's got 2 little cubes missing, where my daughter has been doing her warming in her room. And this was our original mini scent, Love and Kisses Mini. It smells like peaches and creams to me. The only reason I never clubbed it in the first place was because it is very light to me. It is on the light side, but it is fantastic in my daughter's room. We do have a few to get a spy. Again, if it came back for us here in our region, because we got the Mickey scent, not the mini scent in our region with our last Bring Back My Bar voting, would I consider clubbing it this time around for my daughter? Possibly. So, I have, from one of our recent Bring Back My Bars, or a couple of Bring Back My Bars ago, coconut flower. I love to mix this with coconut cotton. Again, if you're looking for a beachy floral scent, coconut flower is perfect for that. And again, because of how many summer scents I had, I didn't club it. If I didn't have all the summer scents I have that I have to warm through, these scents that I'm talking about on the table are the ones that got away from me. These are the summer scents that I would consider warming. But because they got away, because I've got such a big range of them, I've got too much to literally keep them in my club. 2 more scents. Monsters Inc. Monstropolis. This is my last bar of Monsters Inc. Monstropolis. If you like Be Fabulous, if you like We're All Mad Here, you will love Monsters Inc. Monstropolis. It's got that same fruity yet sweet but tart edge to it. Again, I didn't club it because at that time I had Be Fabulous in my club, or Be Fabulous was available in the catalogue. I think I had it in my club. And I chose Be Fabulous over Monsters Inc. Now I have neither Be Fabulous or Monsters Inc. on my club, so I am regretting that. I still do have a We're All Mad Here in my club, and I'm actually stupidly considering cutting that because I'm just not reaching for it. But these are those scents that just make you happy. And then the last one I have here is from the Catching Z's collection, and it is Shadow. Again, I took this out of my club because I have Pink Haze, I have Sugar in my club. I have other scents that give me that cotton candy, powdery, bedroomy feel. So, those are the scents that I guess you could say for me, available here in Region 3, that got away from me. So, let's do, now we've done a talk about all the scents that got away from me at some stage, top 12. So these are the top 12. If they ever came back in and bring back my bar vote, would definitely go back in my club. If I had to choose between these scents that got away from me, what would be my top 12? Lush Gardenia definitely would make my top 12. Honeysuckle Pear would definitely make my top 12. So out of all the floral scents, I feel like these would be the 2 floral scents that would be a big club for me. Then I'm going to go Peachy and Palm Trees. I feel like that would be my 3 scent that I would have to club if it ever came back. So that's 3. Coconut Cotton would make our 4th bar. Now, these aren't in any particular order. I'm just choosing 12 scents that would have to be must-haves for me if I had the chance to reclub them. So I feel like Coconut Cotton would be the fresh scent out of the ones that I would choose. So what are we? We've got 4. So let's delve into Atlantic Air would be definitely number 5. So I've got a laundry, I've got a fresh scent. Okay, so Cranberry Pumpkin and Spice. So let's go in the opposite season. Would definitely make that list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lemon Drop It Low. I missed clubbing that. I feel like that would definitely have to make it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lemon Sorbet and Tangerine Creamsicle. Absolutely love that mix with Vanilla Waves. So I'll have to put those 2 from the citrus scents in. And I'm like, where are all my bars that I had? I know I had more. Pretty and Plum. Have to have that one. So what are we up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can choose 2 more. So this is hard for me because there are some that I could say yes, I can live without, and there's some that I could say I must have. Okay. Decisions. This is hard. So what have I got? I've got Atlantic Air and Coconut Cotton ticking off the fresh vibes. Ticking off the citrus vibes, I have Tangerine Creamsicle and Lemon Sorbet. I'm not going to put Squeeze the Day in here, even though I really want to, because I feel like I need to round this top 12 up to like some other scents that I'm missing. Lemon Drop It Lows ticking off my summer bakery. Pretty and Plum is ticking off that all year round verging into winter bakery. Deeper Darker Things. Peachy and Palm Trees ticking off my fruity vibe. Honeysuckle Pear and Lush Gardenias ticking off my floral vibe. I've got Cranberry Pumpkin and Spice going back in for my spice vibe. Now I really want to do Toasted Acorn and Oat, but the thing is I've got Caramel Chestnut, which is very similar, so I feel like I could potentially put this aside out of that top 12 to make room for something else that I could probably enjoy just as much. So I'm going to go. Now I can't find it because I don't know what my son has done with it when he took off with my scents. Not the Central Park Pralines. There's another toffee one I had here that we were talking about. Toffee Butter Crunch. So I'd probably put Toffee Butter Crunch as my second one for another bakery vibe. So it was between that or Central Park Pralines, and I don't know where my son has taken off with Toffee Butter Crunch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to use, this is Toffee Butter Crunch for the time being because I don't know where that's gone to, and I'm going to go Mythic Journey. So that would be my top 12. As I said, there is a bunch here that for me would definitely go back into my club that I missed out on, and would probably be more than 12. But if I had to choose 12, and in no particular order, Peachy and Palm Trees, Pretty and Plum, Lemon Drop It Low, Tangerine Creamsicle, Lemon Sorbet, Coconut Cotton, Atlantic Air, Mythic Journey, Toffee Butter Crunch. I'm using Central Park Pralines to represent that because I don't know where my son put the Toffee Butter Crunch. Cranberry Pumpkin and Spice, Lush Gardenia, and Honeysuckle Pear. So I hope you enjoyed watching the ones that got away from me in this little segment. Until then, stay safe and bye for now.